Hi, my name is Rosa Antonio.
I'm Melissa, and we're going to be talking about our scenario, which is the hypertension. So our scenario is a 30-year-old male businessman that has been newly diagnosed with hypertension and thrives on fast food and has no time to cook. So this is a sodium restricted diet, and our medical diagnosis would be hypertension and high blood pressure. Some signs and symptoms of hypertension would be dizziness, blurred vision, chest pain, shortness of breath, vomiting due to the dizziness and the blurred vision. They can't see, so then they get upset stomach and they just they have a lot of vomiting. If usually that's kind of normal for some people, but if it goes to extreme or it happens frequently, then you should go check with your doctor to see if they can check you out to see if you have hypertension. Usually hypertension is just when you have like high blood pressure in the arteries. Sometimes it's kind of hard to diagnose and they don't really know why hypertension occurs, but usually it has to do with the way you're eating, lack of exercise, pretty much what you're putting into your body. So some descriptions of a diet that we chose to kind of help the person or our scenario man would be like to take a low sodium diet and high potassium depending on the medication. If he has some medication that's gonna contradict the potassium, then he should not really have super high potassium.
Yeah, and just have it balanced on both of them, since a lot of the times potassium and sodium contraindicate each other also. You want to be able to balance it out in both ways.
Also, the main thing that we're focusing on for our diet would be the DASH diet. Usually the DASH diet is used to lower hypertension. So some proteins and carbohydrates from that diet would be like fish, poultry, meat, but kind of limited red meat. You don't want to go overboard. Some carbs would be like whole grains, some nuts, beans. Fats, minerals, and vitamins would be fruits, vegetables, low-fat dairy if they really want like some dairy, some cheese or something. Some good fats like avocado. Minerals and vitamins would be kind of like potassium, like we said, magnesium, calcium, which is one mineral that can play a role in controlling high blood pressure, which is really good. That's what we're pretty much looking for. Some teaching or interventions that we can do would be to teach the DASH diet, to limit sugar and sweetened foods and beverages. Sometimes since he's so used to going out to eat, it's kind of hard to kind of throw him and automatically trying to change his way of living. So we kind of want to ease him into it. So let's say he can eat some like desserts, but don't go overboard. Because the recommended doses that we would want him to have for sodium would be 1,500 milligrams
A day,
or less than that would be good. Also to limit spices and condiments. He goes to fast food, so he's so used to eating like ketchup, having mayo, having all that stuff. So
and a lot of
that
stuff that they have in the fast food restaurants have high content of sodium. So if it's easier for him, we also created a sample lunch meal for him, following this guideline. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's gonna be the grains. It's at least 6 to 8 servings per day. Fresh fruits, 4 to 5 servings of each per day. Lean proteins, 6 or less servings per day. Legumes or nuts, seeds, 4 to 5 servings per week. Fats and sweets have to be completely limited. Low-fat dairy, 2 to 3 servings per day. So this is following the DASH diet for healthy blood pressure. One of the example lunches that we did, since he's always in a hurry and he doesn't have time to make food every day, we're thinking of maybe give him an example that he could do meal preps on a Sunday for the remaining of the week, at least 5 meals per day. So following the guidelines of the DASH diet, maybe he could do like 2 pieces of lean chicken breast, green salad that can include spinach, lettuce, and kale, low-fat cheese, and brown rice. We don't, like we said, we don't want to exactly like fully make him completely change how he's eating because it's going to be difficult for him. So maybe also add like a dessert that will include bananas, apples, or at least 3/4 of a cup of raspberries, so it's not too much of a change. And of course, try to limit his sodium intake, which is the whole purpose of this. Another example would be curry chicken wrap with tortilla, which is chopped chicken, chopped apple, light mayo, and curry powder. Since we know that he likes a little bit of spices, since he likes to go to fast food restaurants, we also want to be able to give him a little bit of taste, so his food isn't too bland.
We can also limit the smoking and alcohol because that does play a big part in high blood pressure, so we wanted to do that also. And another thing would be, it's since he has no time to really cook, he could make the meal preps like on Sunday, or now with technology and with all these restaurants and everything that they can find, they do have restaurants that actually make meal preps for you. So instead of just driving to a fast food place, he could either drive to a meal prep store or have those meal preps delivered to him if that's what he would like. So that would
And
be
also, there's also apps that can help you out with that. There's My Plate, and it gives you samples of what type of foods you can eat, and that way you can keep track of your calorie intake and how much sodium you're intaking, which plays a big part on the hypertension. So that's our presentation. Thank you so much.